Do you think you're allergic to cat fur? If so, you're not alone. Millions of people believe their sneezing, itchy eyes, coughing, or skin irritation are caused by cat hair. In fact, many people have reluctantly given up on the idea of owning a cat because they've been told they're allergic to fur. But here's the surprising truth. In most cases, cat fur isn't actually the problem. And understanding what really causes cat allergies could completely change the way you think about living with cats. If you love cats and want to understand them better, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications because we post new cat behavior and care videos every week. Let's start with one of the biggest myths surrounding cats. Many people assume that when they react to a cat, they're reacting to the animal's hair. It seems logical. After all, cat hair gets everywhere. It's on furniture, carpets, clothing, bedding, and sometimes places that seem physically impossible. So naturally, people blame the fur. But the reality is more complicated. What most people are actually reacting to are tiny proteins produced by cats. These proteins are found in places such as a cat's saliva and skin secretions. And because cats spend a large part of their day grooming themselves, those proteins end up coating their fur. When the fur sheds or moves around the home, the proteins travel with it. So while cat hair often carries the allergen, the hair itself is usually not the thing causing the allergic reaction. This distinction matters because it helps explain something that confuses many cat lovers. Why do some people react badly even when there doesn't seem to be much cat hair around? The answer is that these proteins can linger in the environment. A cat may have left a room hours earlier, yet sensitive individuals may still react. In some cases, people can enter a house where a cat lives and begin sneezing almost immediately, even if the cat is nowhere to be seen. That's because the proteins can settle into soft furnishings, carpets, bedding, curtains, and other surfaces throughout the home. Another common misconception is that certain breeds are completely hypoallergenic. Unfortunately, there is no such thing as a truly allergy-free cat. Every cat produces the proteins that trigger allergic reactions. Some individual cats may trigger fewer symptoms than others, but no breed can guarantee that an allergic person will remain symptom-free. This often surprises people who have heard claims about special breeds solving allergy problems. The truth is that reactions vary enormously from person to person. One individual may react strongly to one cat and only mildly to another. Some people find they can comfortably live with a particular cat despite generally being allergic. Others react to almost every cat they encounter. Part of the challenge is that allergies themselves vary greatly. For some people, the symptoms are relatively mild. Perhaps they sneeze more than usual. Maybe their eyes become itchy. Perhaps they develop a slightly blocked nose after spending time around cats. For others, the situation is far more serious. Some individuals can develop severe respiratory symptoms, including asthma attacks and breathing difficulties. This is why cat allergies should never be dismissed as simply a minor inconvenience. If symptoms are severe, professional medical advice is essential. Now here's an interesting question. Do long-haired cats cause worse allergies? Many people believe they do, and in some cases they may appear to, but not necessarily for the reason people think. Remember, the allergy isn't usually to the fur itself. However, longer fur may hold onto more of the proteins that trigger allergic reactions. Long-haired cats may also spread more hair around the home, which means those proteins can be distributed more widely. That said, even cats with very little fur can still trigger allergic reactions. Some people assume that a nearly hairless cat automatically solves allergy problems. Unfortunately, that's often not the case because the proteins responsible for the reaction are still being produced. This brings us to one of the most common questions cat lovers ask. Can you live with a cat if you're allergic? For many people, the answer is yes, but it often requires careful management. One of the simplest steps is creating cat-free zones within the home. The bedroom is usually the most important. Many allergy specialists recommend keeping cats out of sleeping areas whenever possible. This may sound difficult, especially if your cat is used to sharing your bed, but reducing overnight exposure can make a significant difference for some people. Think about it this way. You spend roughly a third of your life sleeping. If allergens are present in your bedroom, you're exposed to them for many hours every single night. Reducing that exposure may help limit symptoms. The type of flooring in your home can also make a difference. Carpets tend to trap allergens. Once proteins settle into carpet fibers, they can be difficult to remove completely. Hard flooring surfaces are often easier to clean thoroughly. The same principle applies to soft furnishings. Cushions, throws, blankets, and upholstered furniture can all collect allergens over time. Choosing items that can be washed regularly may help reduce the buildup. Cleaning is another important factor. Regular vacuuming can remove hair, dust, and other particles from the environment. Air circulation and ventilation may also help reduce the concentration of allergens indoors. Many people also find air purifiers useful as part of an overall strategy. However, it's important to be realistic. No single solution completely removes allergens from a home where cats live. The goal is usually reduction rather than elimination. Small improvements from multiple approaches often work better than relying on one dramatic fix. Another simple but often overlooked habit is hand washing. Many allergic reactions occur after touching a cat and then touching your face, eyes, or nose. Washing your hands after handling your cat can help reduce this form of exposure. It's a small step, but it can make a noticeable difference for some individuals. For people with more significant allergies, medical treatment may also play a role. Antihistamines are commonly used to help manage symptoms such as sneezing and itching. Some people require additional treatments for respiratory symptoms. This is why speaking with a doctor is always important if allergies are affecting your quality of life. The most important takeaway is that cat allergies are highly individual. What works well for one person may not work for another. Some people discover they can comfortably share their home with a cat by making a few practical adjustments. Others may need a combination of environmental management and medical support. And in severe cases, living with cats may simply not be possible. But understanding the true cause of cat allergies helps people make informed decisions. The problem usually isn't the fur itself. It's the proteins that cats naturally produce and spread through their environment. Once you understand that, many of the myths surrounding cat allergies start to make much more sense. So the next time someone says they're allergic to cat hair, you'll know there's actually a much more interesting story behind what's really happening. And for many cat lovers, understanding that difference is the first step toward finding a way to enjoy life with cats while keeping allergy symptoms under control. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more cat behavior advice, cat care tips, and expert guidance to help your cat live a happier and healthier life.